Did y'all get any sleep last night?
I slept on 3 hours.
Did anybody stay up all night long? Yes? I will not feel sorry for you at all at 9:30 tonight when we're still walking around. All right, so this morning we're going to my personal favorite museum, and it is called the Newseum. I know we talked about it last night. Just in case you forgot, it's all about the news. So the history of the news, big events that happen in the news, or that kind of changed our world, changed the United States, changed the whole world. Some highlights that you don't want to miss. There's a piece of the Berlin Wall. Do you know what the Berlin Wall? Okay, so the Berlin Wall separated East and West Germany. They held people inside of East Germany there, and it was a big part of our history, and the world's history really. And so when they broke down that wall, families were able to get back together. It was a really dark time over in Germany, so it's a really big piece of history that we actually have a piece of that wall that was knocked down, that opened up Germany all together, because it used to be two separate places, East and West Germany. Now it's all one country. So that's just like a brief, quick history of that. But definitely see that, because not many places in the States have a piece of that wall. Another highlight, make sure that you see the radio tower from the World Trade Center. You know, in 2001, we had a terror attack where two planes hit the towers, one plane hit the Pentagon, and one plane went down in Pennsylvania that they thought that was scheduled to hit the White House. And so that was a really big event that happened in our history in the U.S. And so inside the museum, they have one of the radio towers. So I recommend seeing that. Also recommend going and seeing the Pulitzer Prize winning photos. So these are taken by journalists, so photojournalists, which is a part of the news. They had some award-winning photos, and there's a lot of history behind those photos. Highly recommend that. Let's see what else. Oh, in the bottom, there's an FBI exhibit about the terror attacks that happened on this soil, in Boston and in New York. And they talk about, so if you're into like spy stuff and FBI and CIA kind of things, they tell how they did it, and the things they went through to do it. It's really interesting. So those are a couple of highlights. There's also a theater in there that has different clips of comedians that talk about the news. So it's like a little comic relief there if you want to see that. And then there's another room where you can look at newspapers from as early as the 1800s. And it's the actual newspaper. You won't get to touch it, but it's in a drawer. You open it up and you can see what the news looked like back then. So very fascinating. I really recommend filling all the 2 hours that we have. I discourage you from finding a bench and sitting on your phones. Really engage, really read the things. It's a really cool museum, okay? Okay, so after that, we are going to be having lunch, and we're going to do something cool. We have cash handout. We're going to let you go to food trucks. Have you ever eaten in a food truck before? Have you ever seen one? They're pretty awesome. So the mall on the weekends are filled with food trucks. And when I say mall, I don't want to get y'all too excited. It's not an actual mall. It is just called the National Mall, which is the giant green space that we were walking around yesterday. So a man by the name of Pierre Lafont designed all of this area, including where the monuments would go, where the White House goes, where the Capitol is located. And he did all the plans and the layout. And he created a green space, a big area, for a gathering of all of the citizens here. And so it still is to this day a gathering place for people. You'll see all of us having lunch there. You'll see soccer games or picnics or kite flying or anything like that. It's happening in that green space that was created by Pierre Lafont. Okay, so after we have lunch at the food trucks, we're going to give you enough time that if you eat quickly and use your time wisely, you have a time to go to another Smithsonian. For example, the Air and Space Museum, which is everyone's favorite. Millions of visitors come each year. It's one of the most visited museums in the country, actually. So you'll want to eat efficiently and then make sure you want to go in there. Or if you're interested in art, the art gallery is right there too. And they have beautiful paintings. They have some Monets in there. They have a Picasso, Rembrandt, just to name of the few that y'all might recognize. Okay, so that's until the afternoon, and then I'll fill you in on the afternoon once it becomes that, not to overwhelm you with everything. Everybody, did y'all enjoy your time this morning and for lunch in the archives? Good, good. Did you learn something today? Okay, good. A little bit. All right, so we are now on our way to the Capitol building. We're going to get dropped off. The buses are only allowed to drop off and pick up in one certain area. So then we'll have to walk up and around to get to the visitor center entrance. Now, the Capitol is very strict with what you are allowed to take in. So there is absolutely no food allowed inside. So it includes chaperones. So if you have any food or anything in your backpack, they will take it and throw it away. So if you...
So if I bring chips, they're going to throw it out? They're going to take it, put it in a garbage can, and save it for later. I'm going to bring it back.
All right, so if you if you're questioning if you should bring it or not, leave it. All right, they're really strict up there, and they can take things and throw it away. So if you're not really sure about it and you don't really need it in the next 2 hours, then please leave it on the bus. If you have a water bottle in your bag, it has to be empty. They are now allowed no water bottles full of anything, no Coke bottles full of anything. It has to be an empty bottle. Let's see what else. Yeah, so again, if you don't need it, just leave it on the bus because we're going to be coming back down to it after our tour. Our tour will probably be off the bus for about 2 hours. So if you can stand it without 2 hours, then that is going to be the best. I see a couple hands back there. Yes.
What will they do if they find your bottle full?
What if they find your bottle of water? They'll make you exit, pour it out, and get back in line. We don't have time for that.
Kathy, can you give us a few spots? Who needs this, Mr. Carter?